Hello and welcome to Qsports. I'm Umudu Gajaga and thank you very much for joining us. Tonight we're talking about someone who has an illustrious career as an academist, and we are going to look back on Veronique Aisha Malak, the women's football coordinator, the assistant women's football coordinator of the Gambia Football Federation, who just recently returned from attending a FIFA Masters program. Well, as a women's footballer before, she won the Gambia's first division. She also played for the Gambia's team in 2012 in Azerbaijan, the FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup. And also we'll be looking at her career as an academist, if you like, just returning from that FIFA program, and how it is going to help her shape Gambia's women's football. Joining me in the studio is Veronique Aisha Malak. Welcome.
Thank you, Gajaga.
It's a pleasure to get you here for the second time. I think it was a year ago or 2 years ago when we last talked about women's football, its challenges and developments. Here you are. Since then, in terms of academics, you've gone way far, pursued a university degree first at the University of the Gambia, and then from there, now you did your master's in this FIFA program, which was organized some time ago, and you did it at the Demonford University, but also you have to be in other countries in order to pursue the course. Tell us how it all went about.
Good evening, viewers. Thank you very much, Gajaga, once again for having me here. It's always a pleasure to be at QTV. Yeah, the FIFA Master is a wonderful journey to me. The first experience, of course, to have this kind of education outside from Gambia. And it is a program organized by CIS, which means the International Center for Sports Studies, in collaboration with FIFA. So they organized this FIFA Master, and it exists, let's say, since 2000. So after 23 years, for the first time, we have a Gambian who is part of the family as an alumni. So yeah, the Master takes place in 3 beautiful cities in Europe. And the first part starts in United Kingdom, UK, Leicester, at the university called the Montfort University. That's where we did the humanities in sports. And then we moved to SDA Bocconi in Milan, Italy. That's where we did the management program. And the final stage of the FIFA Master is at Neuchâtel, Switzerland, where we did the law, particularly about sports.
Well, looking back, you're someone who was part of the Gambia's team that played in the FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup, which was played in Azerbaijan in 2012. How far have you gone?
Well, thank you for that question, because I think playing in the FIFA Master was the golden opportunity in my life as a player in the career for football. And also the only thing I can brag or show to my children in the future that, look, I was a player and I played at the last stage of football. But I also think it's bring a lot of chances and opportunities on my way when I transit to the administrative side. Depending on the applications to the FIFA Master, I was the only one who played in the FIFA World Cup in the whole class. And you know, it consists of 27 nationalities from different parts of the world for our class 23 edition. So I think it was a great opportunity just to play in the FIFA World Cup, and also coming back academic doing the FIFA Master as a woman. So I think it's a golden opportunity for all the girls out there, the young women in the sports, and then let them know they can do it without not only being on the pitch, because it's on and off the pitch. Also to the parents, school teachers, PE teachers, everyone that you know is a stakeholder in the sports development, that women can do it outside the sports. So I think, yeah, there's a big opportunity for Gambians to pursue in the sports industry.
What are some of the new things that you've learned during the course that you think you'll be able to utilize to help shape Gambia's women's football to the next level?
Yeah, I think this is a great question. Particularly the Master is a wide environment that we dealt with, particularly in these 3 cities. But for the most important one, I think, is the finance. Yeah, because we all know football is very expensive, and anything we do has to do with that huge sum of money. So going out there, going to visit to big teams like FC Internazionale, going to big teams like AC Milan, Juventus in the Milan, I think that great experience of learning about how they control all sum of money is something that added value to me. Because before I thought finance was just mathematics. Yeah. If fund comes from FIFA and it's for women's football, let's say it's 2 million, I just go to Ismaila, give me us our 2 million, you know.
Yeah.
But now I got to understand, there's a bit of differences. It's not mathematics.
Yeah.
Of course, it is pure finance. And then you need to do a lot of subtractions from it, you know. And then at the end, you don't have the same figure you are giving.
Okay.
Yeah, so say to him, Ismaila, and the GFF department for finance. But yeah, I think for the women's football, also our strategy is very important, because every time we need to do a new strategy, it's a roadmap that is trying to tell us where we're heading to. And of course, bring in something new, like we need to have icons in women's football. And then we don't also need to engage the media in anything we do. That's why we see you as our friends. So we can have many programs, but if we don't have people to show out what we do, it's meaningless. And of course, we need support. Like something that I learned also in Milano and Neuchâtel is like empowerment of women. Women should be in the decision-making bodies so that equal opportunity will be given to the both sector. But we all think football is a dominant male sport. Yes, it's true. And it's also loved by everyone. But yeah, women are also part of it. So I think we need competent people at the right place making decisions so that when such crucial issues arises, we know how to deal with them and nobody will be like facing injustice of unfairness.
Yeah, and when it comes to Gambia, we know there are a lot of gaps in terms of development of women's football. I know there's a special package from FIFA where they would send in funds through the Gambia Football Federation for women's football development. You have the Live Your Gold project. You also have the FIFA Girls Festival project and other ones. We also have our league, the first and the second division, but it's not up to the standard that we are all yearning for. I think you can now be a big advocate for that and engage your officials at the Football Federation, your bosses, to see how best to adjust some of those development gaps to make sure that women's football reach the next level.
Definitely. This one also is a good question, because to continue from what where I stopped, also the sponsorship or partnership, let's say, because in the sports, you don't have an institution or federation that can do everything. Like, we need partners to work with. That is the other important thing we dealt with in the FIFA Master. And I think for sports, you need more than, you don't only need one sponsor. In women's football, we don't have even sponsors. So we are calling out everyone out there that, okay, we are the women's in the sports, particular football, and we are ready to give all our best to make sure we qualify to the AFCON, you know, or even play in the FIFA World Cup. Because recently we just saw what happened, and you saw the transition, because before it was the Americas, you know. Yeah. But now they are trying to show the Americans football is not one way. And you also see the manifestation during the finals. Yeah. Nobody was expecting, like, UK is a big team, everyone support England. Yeah. But you see, it's just football. So one have to believe in yourself and you work on your strategies. And then for England team, I wasn't surprised, because we went to the FA and then they saw us how much they invest just to make sure the women's football is developed. Yeah, before 2022 they were the champions, but this is the FIFA World Cup. Everyone wants to challenge them, even though they have a second place in the FIFA World Cup. But for coming back to the Gambia, I think we need people to work with, like big institutions or, let's say, partners, agencies, to come and work with the Gambia Football Federation, Women's Football Unit, because we alone cannot do it, and we also cannot depend on FIFA funds, because they are for certain projects and we need to expand. But for the important one you are talking about is the FIFA campaign, like the FIFA Live Your Goal Gas campaign, which I was an ambassador. We went for a nation tour. I think that project was massive and very important for the development of women's football in the Gambia, because parents in the rural area need to know what is women's football, who are in the women's football. If you don't have people like us, parents don't know who to look up to. They don't think it's a game to give their girl child to go and just play. But they need icons or role models to look up to. And then from there, they know, okay, it's not only also, it doesn't only stop at the pitch. It's on and off the pitch. So I think gradually the campaign was massive, because it led us to increasing the number of women in women's football. Football was introduced in many schools, any local regions out there, Basse, name it, CRR, you know, so that is very important for us, and we look for more of those kind of programs. But within Combo area, I know football is loved mostly by men, and support is more given to men. But look as well, women can do it, and we just need the support.
We just need the support. And talking about women can also do it, we have a country like United States of America that you've mentioned. They played in the Women's World Cup, which was played in Australia and New Zealand. Well, unfortunately, they were looking forward to winning another Women's World Cup. But this time, Spain says, you know what? No, we are going to be the winners. And looking at the U.S. women's football, it has gone to a stage where they demanded equal pay. In fact, they've even gotten it now with men. In the case of the Gambia, there's a massive disparity, and I would really concentrate more on its development, especially the league. This concluded edition, we've seen sometimes matches are played at times which are really not favorable, and sometimes having the environment, having the pitch at the right place to play the games and things like that, transportation and issues like that, they're a big challenge. How is it going to be to kind of tackle some of those things?
Yeah, I think first with the national teams, because I think that's the highest level for any competition in the country, and they're not representing themselves, they are representing the nation. So yeah, working with the national teams, giving them equal pay is very important. This is not only in the Gambia, it's a worldwide problem. Like you mentioned, the US, they fought for it, other countries also are doing the same, or continents, but still it's still rotating. It's not always balanced. So we are looking for that balance in gender, and to make sure what is given to the men is equally given to women. But you know, we could also do the talking to advocate. This is part of it. Talk about it, make sure these issues are dealt with. And yeah, the government also needs to give its share or contributions, stakeholders, not only the federation, like I mentioned earlier. Yeah, and then from there, we'll develop the game through equalities of payment of players, or the opportunity they to have, whether they're going to be given something like allowances, and that will motivate the players as well. Because if you give men a huge amount of allowance and women you don't, or little, still it's not at par. So we're all working towards making it to be at par, and everyone you see yourself as respected. Because if you're playing football as a woman, and I'm the guy at the house, any game I go, I bring something, and then if you come, you don't bring anything, they say, yo, sa play, amun jering. Ken rañaw len ci dëkk bi women's football do len dara. So we want to change that. We are dara, we are something. Yeah, so we cannot do it alone. We need everyone's support, so that yeah, the women's national team currently training, preparing for a very important game for the qualifiers of AFCON. So I think that also as well, the public needs to know women are there, give them support, and it's going to be a home game. So yeah, let's everyone come out in your good numbers, watch the game, wherever it's going to be played. You also mentioned about pitches, which is very good, but it's a problem everywhere. Because for us women, the biggest challenge is the timing. Some of the majority are students going to school, so you cannot schedule games sometimes. It will not favor the team. And as well, pitches are occupied, they have to reschedule games or take them all the way to that place. But sorry, it's very far for fans to travel all the way just to watch a game. And it's just women's football. So we need, like you mentioned, good pitches where you know the girls can showcase their talent within their communities, and then friends, family, loved ones can just have access to the pitch and give them support where they are playing the league.
When it comes to the media part of it, showing women's football, talking about it, and making sure that people understand that women do play football, and they have some very skillful people, you know, and women's football can take you to another level, just like you've passed through, you've been a footballer before, and now you are into administration. We've seen recently some few Gambian players who've signed contracts internationally. Could that be an inspiration to some of the people around the country who have misconceptions that football is a man's game, not a women's game?
Yes, it's a big motivation for women's football. As I say, the game is growing every day. Before, we don't have talents playing for other continents or countries. No, it's only within Gambia. You play the league, you are the best player or leading goal scorer. That's case closed. Yeah, but now we see young girls from the Gambia moving all the way to other regions in Africa. In Nigeria, we have players playing for Nigeria, players playing for Liberia. Recently, they just won. Ruby and the team. And as well, also promoted to be the team captain. That's a huge achievement. Because I think if everyone give your best outside, we got the talent. Everyone can easily recognize, yeah, these are young Gambians and they can do it. Because football, you don't need to fake. Just show what you can do. It's clearly seen by everyone. So yeah, also to school football, we've been seeing before, we play school competitions, play up to the last stage. It's never concluded because maybe there is no fun to do the finals and stuff. But now we see the girls playing in the CAF Championship, which is very important. School football is also growing in the Gambia.
Recently, Scan Aid?
Yeah, Scan Aid, they are good. And I also send my shout-outs to the school principal, because it starts with the school principal to the PE teachers. They are the ones who accept this in the school system, and then they give support to the girls. Many schools have good players, but they don't have like school principals who will motivate them, or school PE teachers who will take care of them. But for Scan 8, it's not only on the pitch. Also, they go extra mile, like paying tuition fees for these girls, extra classes just for them to pass their exams. So that is what I love about the school, because I knew all these things when I was working with the under 16 girls, and majority of them were from Scarnet. Yeah, so shout out to the school principal and other schools like Buttrop, they're doing great, and others, yeah.
Talking about the program that you've just attended, part of it are visits. You've mentioned Milan, you've mentioned Internazionale, that's Inter Milan, and other places that you visited. I saw your picture at Old Trafford. Are you a Manchester United fan?
Yes, United forever. You know, when I was young,
this studio is nice. I am a United fan as well.
Yeah, definitely it's nice to send shout-outs to all United fans, but to my class, the FIFA Master especially, because majority of the class members are Manchester United fans. So yeah, that's it. We do wonderful visit out there to meet great executive members, presidents, club assistant presidents, like the first vice president, the technical directors, just to take us through their work. And then, yeah, Manchester United was great, but City as well. And then when I got to City, I have to switch. So Manchester fans were angry. They are not happy with me.
Happy with you? Oh, definitely.
I switch, yeah.
Huge rivalry. Yeah. So football at that level is uncomparable, but you can draw inspiration from it. You can see how the game has developed to a certain level, and you know, for the Gambia, yes, we are trading players. We're having some very good players now who are playing in some of the leagues and things like that. And a few years down the line, you think we can get to the level where at least we can have a player playing for Manchester United. We can have a player playing for Internazionale.
It's already coming.
Yeah.
Definitely, it's already coming. Now the new market is in Saudi. That's my place, second place, Saudi Arabia. Yeah, so congrats to all the players that moved to Saudi, and I just wish them a happy career, all their wishes to be granted there. Yeah, both for women's football and men's football, because everywhere now scouts are around, the agents are doing their work, so you just need to prove yourself, and then you're going to be there. So I think in the future it's brighter for Gambian young girls and men playing football, because not only in the Saudis, but as well as you mentioned, Manchester United, even the female team. For last I watched them play and Arsenal, I was like, come on, during our days we can play here. We don't got the chance, but we can do it. So the young girls are talented, they are ready to give it, full of energy. Yes, Gambians can be international. Yeah.
So the issue of capacity building, you have the chance. What do you think women's football would also need in terms of the capacity gaps that are there? You're one person, but maybe there are others who need to be trained, let's say coaches, to build their capacity to get the game to the next level.
Yeah, I think it's the camp project we're talking about. Not only the coaches, but as well the administrators, the referees. We talk about the medics, and now we add the S because of the security, which is very important, because if we are dealing with big events, of course you need security to make sure the place is secured. And that also, you don't just take police outside to come, or let's say support from the IGP, but so you also need to train your people. So training needs to be done. That is the capacity building programs. Even still more for leadership, because it's very important for us to have women leaders, not only administrators doing the paperwork in the office, but to have these competent leaders who will be there for the voice of women's football, who will represent us anywhere we go. And then if they're spoken or go for any decision making, they'll take rational decisions that, you know, they're going to be favor women's football, but going to go bring a massive contribution that everybody will be happy about, and it create a great impact in women's football development, starting from the grassroots to the senior national teams.
There is also a football program that you've attended, Discovery Football in Germany last month. It's an annual program. You attended sometime last year as well. Tell us about this program.
Yeah, Discover Football is every 2 years. It's organized in Berlin, Germany. And yes, I was there last 2021 with the Gambian team to participate. But unfortunately, this year I was busy with the Master, so Gambia did not apply. And also, they themselves want to change their locations or focus to the Colombia and Cuba and the other places like South Sudan, so South Africa. So this year there's nothing like Gambia, Senegal and other usual countries that used to participate. But yeah, Discover is a non-football organization that organizes women football symposiums or conferences, talk about issues that are around women's football, especially the challenges that disturb the growth of women's football, and they see how best we can tackle them. So this year we are talking about visibility, which is very important for everyone to hear from the other part of the world, people coming from Turkey, coming from other part of Asian continent and the North America with some European countries, to make sure we balance ourselves and hear the different stories from their countries. So I think the Discover Football is also there to motivate women who they are powerless, give them support. Also this year we have a team of journalists. Some are from Kenya, from Africa, others from other part of the world, to unite just women and hear from their different field as far as they are journalists and working for sports, particular football. What are their challenges in their countries and how we best think we can solve these issues together, just to brainstorm. Yeah, so that is Discover Football.
We had 2 near misses in women's AFCON qualifiers. Whenever we play, up to the stage where we meet a Nigeria or we meet a Cameroon, we are out because they are like levels above us in terms of where their players are playing, how their game has advanced and things like that. Yeah. How do we breach that? What do we need to do in Gambia to beat Nigeria? Because at some stage you will meet them, or you meet Cameroon, or maybe you meet South Africa in the qualifiers of the women's AFCON.
Good question. This one is a good question. I think for us Gambia, but also we are small but pepper, Yeah. So even though they're there for 100 years qualifying, we can still challenge them. Just believe in ourselves. Let's do the normal homework at home, yeah? Wherever we play with them, we can challenge and play, because it's football. At the end, it's 90 minutes.
Yeah, but the scoreline would never show that.
No, what I'm saying is,
against Nigeria and Cameroon, it has been like, a close game at home, maybe a 2-1 or 1-1, and then the return leg 6-0.
Yeah, or 6-1.
Also, yeah, because
I can remember Kati scored for us that nice free kick.
Yeah,
but what I'm saying is still, we go back to the qualifiers of the African Cup of Nations, and then you relate it with this concluded finals, the FIFA World Cup. If you see African teams, everyone was thinking about Nigeria because it's the biggest team, Nigeria. But we all know, like, South Africa is the champion. But look at Zambia. Yeah. Where is Zambia coming from? They play in the FIFA World Cup, and they did wonders.
And they did well.
Yeah, so I think the homework should be done at home. Everyone prepare your team at the right time, give them everything they need. Because look, football also is very fair. You cannot be training like for, let's say, like starting training for 3 months, you're about to play with me, and I train just for weeks, and then I expect to win you. Yeah. Fair play, And also the Nigerian teams, the motivation they have, come on, it's not from only their federations. They have ample support outside from their supporters, like, let's say, their sponsorship, somebody responsible for their teams. So those kind of people are well motivated. Anywhere you call them, they're ready to play. But come on, if I even want to play for Banjul, I don't even have good shoes to play. My parents, or let's say someone, good sisters or brothers, will buy those things for me. It's difficult. So there are certain things that needs to be on the table. And then you see these big teams like Nigeria watering the same flowers, because you see the same faces. The team is old, they need to change, because they're African champions. I keep saying this. If Nigeria wants to go far in the World Cup, they need to bring young ones. And then for us, the thing is we got the young ones already. What is needed is what to put in, what we need to add on them to make it more spicy. The food can be cooked and nice, yeah, but put there more spicy and see how it looks.
And see how it works out.
That is the difference. So Gambia needs to work.
Does that has to do with improving the league, making sure that it gets to a certain level?
A lot.
And Gambian players, women's footballers who play for professional teams now, if you get 6, 7 professional women's footballers added to the ones who are playing in our local leagues, putting them together, you think that could be a good challenge, good test? Yeah,
it could be a very good test. First, the National League, because during our days, I know there's big change, but we cannot keep on doing the same thing. Like, the league need also more spice, to be more spicy, even for you to be attracted to come and watch the league. Like, oh, those are the certain things that are skilling women's football in the Gambia. So also we have big challenges, like sometimes you grow a team and you expect to maintain the team, sometimes because of life, marriage things will come in between the transition of getting babies. So you see these kind of problems, and then the team will change again. Or those particular players who are in that good shape of form cannot represent the nation that period in the national teams. So you need to look for replacement, and then maybe it not be at par, like the same match. So yeah, a lot needs to be done in that area to develop women's football, particularly in the National League, the school football competitions, because there I believe they're the youngest talents, and we need to groom them for the senior national team.
There should be a lot of competition. There should be a lot of challenge in women's football in the Gambia, especially in the first division. Red Scorpions, Police seems to be the darling, seems to be the favorites. Red Scorpions sometimes would humiliate some teams. The scoreline is absolutely unbelievable. So you know their levels are not the same. In order to bring that gap together, I think the other teams would need support as well in terms of finance to be able to get the players. And sometimes they can't maintain their players.
Definitely. Seeing Red Scorpions, champions, I congratulate them. Red Scorpions for being the champions, and of course, everyone that participates in the Women's National League. I think it's very important. But yeah, they can always challenge. But you know, football, like I said early on, is fair. What you invest is that what you have.
What you get in football.
That's the thing. What you give, that's what you take back. Let's call a spade a spade. So these teams, one of the biggest problems is we lack structures. I talking one with you, I have a team. Every day, that's what I complain. We lack the structures and the competent people to work, because you don't have one person to be a coach. You are the team trainer, the same person, you are the team secretary. Wherever there's a meeting, you are the one going. Come on, you cannot do everything.
Yeah, football doesn't work like that.
That's
so
what women's football needs.
Yeah.
And in fact, you don't even have someone who is keeping, let's say, the records of the financial transactions. Let's say someone in the finance. We don't have that. So you expect one person to control the finance, to do all the paperwork, administration. Come on, go and take all the interviews. No. So we need these structures to be in place first for women's football, and then from there, we can challenge other teams. Red Scorpion got a good or better structure compared to others. I think it's part of the reason that give them that huge motivation.
Well, thank you very much, Veronique Aisha Malak, for your time and coming to the studio talking about women's football. It's a pleasure. Until we come your way next time, this is Qsports.